Hello, you're listening to Nick RP Green, no internet pseudonyms here, what you see is what you get, recording on the 11th of April 2012, and today I am going to be talking about Sonic Generations downloadable content, or rather a lack of Sonic Generations downloadable content. It was around this time after the release of the abomination that was Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 and similarly the mixedly reviewed Sonic Unleashed that both games received downloadable content in the form of extra missions, bosses, and for the former, missions for the other playable characters. Now, I should start by saying that I played and finished Sonic 2006, though was unable to play any of the DLC due to my PS3 copy being from America. Thank you very much, eBay. Whilst any PS3 can play any PS3 game, the games themselves aren't region free and require the same region DLC as the game. So £5 of my hard-earned money was wasted on the Team Amigo pack that I couldn't play. On the other hand, I have played the demo for Sonic Unleashed, and the PS3 version of the game is still sat on my love film list, waiting for its turn to be sent to me and played, though after playing the demo of it, I can't say I'm looking forward to it. But moving back to the original topic, I absolutely adored Sonic Generations. I placed it at number 2 for my Games of the Year for 2011, beaten by Portal 2 and just beaten Gears of War 3, though now that I've finally gotten around to playing Skyrim, my opinion of that may change because Skyrim is very, very good. My Xbox 360 copy of Generations, despite me buying it a couple of months after release, was a pre-order copy, and game wonders why publishers don't like them and they've had so many problems that they've just been in. But I did get access to the extra bonuses, so the Supersonic Avatar costume, the Xbox 360 theme, which is still active, and the Casino Night Zone DLC, a level basically mimicking a pinball table where classic and modern Sonic both have a slightly different special boost for them to get around the table. The level looked very nice, and the accompanying music, as with the rest of the soundtrack, was lovely, but it was hardly an entire level redone like the levels in the actual game. Unlike 2006 and Unleashed, 6 months have gone past and Sonic Team haven't said a word about the potential of any extra downloadable content. Presumably they are too busy working on Sonic 4 Episode 2, which I'm hoping they actually apply what they learnt from the 2D sections of Generations and not place Sonic in the centre of the screen whilst he's running into a path that you can't bloody see. Anyway, fan response appears to be mixed, lots of people claiming they don't care and want Sonic Team to move on, whilst others, like myself, are hoping for an announcement of a few more levels. But what levels to pick? The beauty of Generations in the first place was that every level was from a different game in the Sonic timeline, and whilst some complain that using levels from 2006 and Unleashed remind us how poor the games have become in the last 10 years, I feel I would have been more frustrated if they weren't included. They may not have been good, but at least Sega aren't just going to brush them under the carpet as though they never happened. If Sonic Team turned around and said, you know what, let's just forget those games ever happened, my response would have to be, why? They did. You can't ignore the fact that they did exist. And besides, Rooftop Run for Generations was fantastic, my second favourite level after City Escape, though admittedly City Escape is my favourite because of the music. Gotta love the Sonic Generations music. Even Rooftop Run's music was awesome. I gotta listen to that soundtrack again. Anyway, what was I? So if I had the chance to decide which 3 levels would be made into DLC, what would they be? You may have a difference of opinion, and if you do, please comment and talk about it. I love a good opinion and a good discussion of ideas, but without further ado, here are my top 3. Number 3. Egg Fleet from Sonic Heroes. How cool is this level? I mean, really, the music was awesome, the pace is fast, and you're running atop a flying armada. I remember first jumping into this level and thinking, this is it. Time for the showdown with Eggman. This is going to be awesome. And despite the occasional clunky controls that came with Heroes, it was really awesome. It set up the final boss fight really nicely, and zipping between the different aircraft looked really cool. Today, we could see so much more from this level. With the tight controls from modern Sonic, the end result would be a lot smoother. Just think about the transition from the Sonic Heroes version of Seaside Hill to today's version of Seaside Hill. It runs so much better, and the potential for level design is reasonably open. We could see one really massive fortress that Sonic navigates around, similar to the Egg Fortress that followed this level in the original Sonic Heroes. Or he could be constantly hopping from one to the other, destroying them in the process. You could be switching into the 2D plane, either in the 3D sections where you switch into the 2D sections, or the 2D Sonic levels could be inside the ships, destroying them from the inside. Add in the gorgeous graphics that we've got from the current system, and we could see the vastness of this armada and how it falls as you progress. Just imagine, as you start the level, you see, 30, 40 ships coming towards you, and by the end of the level, you can look back and see that they're all falling on fire and exploding. I just think it would look fantastic, and the music, again, to bring back the music again, it would be brilliant. The original music was already good. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to let you listen to the music just for a minute. Remember this, and now think what it would be like if you listened to it again today and they'd redone it the same way they did as Generations. It would be awesome. How cool would that be today with the new versions that they're doing? I mean, it'd be interesting to see what they did with the 2D Sonic classic sort of style of music, but, you know, it would be really interesting, and I just know that the modern version would be even more awesome than the original is. So number 2, Digital Circuit / Mad Matrix from Shadow the Hedgehog. Okay, well, whoa, I'm hearing you cry right now. You aren't seriously considering a level from Shadow the Hedgehog, and yes, I am. And why? Because the game deserves a second chance, just like 2006 and Unleashed did. And I'm going to come back to it again. Rooftop Ron got given a second chance, and Rooftop Ron was bloody awesome. If you didn't play Shadow the Hedgehog, I don't blame you if you didn't. You'll remember that Shadow had a rather interesting story-based mode that was unfortunately put together with some rather bad gameplay. It allows you to choose your path being good and helping Sonic and Team Gun, or by being bad and helping the alien invasion that claims to know about Shadow's past. Or you could be completely neutral and just want to get the Chaos Emeralds for yourself. The end result of which gave 10 different endings, as each chosen path resulted in a different level coming next, leading eventually into a different final boss. My favourite of which sees the ending where Shadow kicks the shit out of Sonic, and man, that just looks cool. If you remember the opening cinematic for it, if you played it, there's a bit right at the end where Sonic is lying down on the ground, Shadow is towering above him, gun held in his hand, just looking down at Sonic as he's falling to the ground. It just looks cool. It's just a shame that the rest of the gameplay was pretty crap, to be honest. It has the same problems that the other games have had, you know, clunky controls, it got a bit repetitive, and the whole Sonic the Hedgehog with guns thing didn't work. It didn't work quite as nicely as I think most people wanted it to. But anyway, the two of the levels in the game are Digital Circuit and Mad Matrix. It's inside a computer mainframe. First time you go through its Guns mainframe, second time you go through its Eggman's mainframe, that Shadow hacks into either to find files or the Chaos Emerald to help the good guys, or to destroy the mainframe's core or bombs for the bad guys. Whilst the two are separate levels, they are very, very similar in their design. You gotta feel that Sonic Team cheated a bit when they did that, though there are 23 stages in Shadow the Hedgehog, so maybe you can't blame them too much. But about the level, the sections where Shadow rolls through the network lines to destroy the bombs was pretty shoddy and boring, but the rest of the level looked really cool, and I think it has some potential in Generations due to its uniqueness. For those of you who played Sonic Colors, think back to Starlight Carnival, where Sonic would run through brightly lit areas as the ground materialised before him. That sort of style applied to this level's theme being inside a computer could be really interesting, especially whilst battling out against viruses and firewalls and dipping in and out of various network lines, though hopefully running through them rather than constantly rolling this time. Or perhaps, thinking back to Generation's current levels, you've got the section in Chemical Plant Zone where he goes through the water tunnel and you can slightly control him. Maybe that would work as a network line. I don't know. That would be up to Sonic Team on how they would do it. The other thing that holds this level back a bit, though, is the truth that it's a memory from Shadow's past rather than Sonic's. But outside of the Generation storyline, I think this would be acceptable. Okay, here it is. Number 1. Ready? Carnival Night Zone from Sonic 3. Are you surprised? I hope you're not, but I wouldn't blame you if you were. Whilst Generations already saw DLC of the similarly designed Casino Night Zone from Sonic 2, I much prefer the vibes from Sonic 3's equivalent. If you class Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles as two separate games, then Sonic 3 lost out on a place in Generations. But as one game, which you probably should class them as one game because Sonic 3 was the game and then Sonic & Knuckles was the expansion pack, then Sky Sanctuary, the weakest of all the levels in Generations in my opinion, was chosen for the final cut, and I still can't think why. I mean, I suppose it had a very different feel to the rest of the levels, and as well as being an appropriate level to introduce Knuckles with, but there are just so many better levels from Sonic 3 and Knuckles to choose from, like Marble Garden, Flying Battery, and how even Mushroom Hill wasn't bad, and that was the level they chose for the DS version of Generations. The top of my list is definitely Carnival Night Zone. The original level wasn't my favourite from the original game. The music wasn't particularly special. The level also notably contains the most annoying troll in Sonic history, even worse than the troll gate from Generations Crisis City. If you played Sonic 3, you know what I'm talking about. Ah, the troll room! Not the troll room, anything but the stupid bloody troll room! I hated the troll room so much, this stupid lift troll room thing! This room had me stumped for over 5 years! Playing the game on the Mega Drive, I never had access to the internet or game FAQs to get past this, and the instruction manual never mentioned it. I spent hours continuously bouncing up and down on this damn thing! I don't even know what it is! I'm just trying to get it low enough to jump down into the room below. My brother helping me out as Tails to try and both of us jump in sync to try and get it to go down even faster. And once we managed to get Tails in, but Sonic got left behind. It wasn't until I got my own computer years later and bought the PC port of the game, then I checked the internet to find out what it was. You push up and down while standing on the lift to move it up and down. My God, why didn't Sega put it in the manual? It's so simple. Anyway, calm down. Back to the level itself. I think the eerie darkness of the level's background, accompanied with the bright colours of the lights and the reds and the whites of the carnival, make a really fun-looking atmosphere with a bit of a darker undertone. It's kind of like the whole being scared of clowns thing. It's supposed to be friendly, and there's something there that's just creeps you out a bit. Bit sort of the way they did Dark Carnival in Left 4 Dead 2. You know, it's a really nice place, it's supposed to be really fun, but there's zombies everywhere, and there's also clowns out there trying to kill you. But comparing once again to Sonic Colors, the opening stage of Colors Tropical Resort had a bit of a similar style with the attractions. I know it wasn't a casino-based level, or in fact a carnival-based level, but the attractions, the lights and the sounds, they were very similar, but the level was awesome. The lights and the sounds really brought a welcoming feel to the game, lulling you into a false pretense of this really amazing and nice park that's a family place, but as usual, it's just another one of Eggman's diabolical plans. Carnival Night Zone would look amazing. There's water sections for the 2D Sonic sections to traverse, balloons to bounce off, which could open up potential for some sky sections where you zip above the carnival as you view it in all its glory from above before skydiving back down into the chaos of colour. Yes, that would be awesome. You cannot deny that that would look cool, just diving down into the middle of this just pandemonium of colour and light and sounds and clowns and robots and... Oh, it would just also be really interesting to see what they did with the music. It was a bit slow and a bit eerie, and it went really nicely with the level originally. But if Sonic Team did do this zone, then please leave out the troll door. God damn you, Sega, please leave out the troll door. Well, that's it for this video. I really do hope Sonic Team reconsider and make some more DLC for what is, in my opinion, the best Sonic game since Sonic 3. Remember, if you have a difference of opinion or you want to comment on the choices that I've made, then go ahead, leave your responses in the comments box below. I'll do my best to respond to each one. Subscribe if you want to, but I'm not going to force you into it. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.